the incident haunted my every waking moment, creeping into my dreams like tendrils of a malevolent fog. I couldn't shake the feeling that something had latched onto me during that fateful night in the woods, something otherworldly and sinister. In an attempt to find closure, I decided to consult a local historian named Dr. Evelyn Hartman. She was known for her expertise in the region's folklore and hidden histories. The town, renamed Eldridge Hollow to protect its true identity, harbored secrets that spanned generations. Dr. Hartman's small, cluttered office was adorned with dusty books and ancient artifacts. As I shared my harrowing experience, she listened intently, her eyes narrowing with every detail. When I finished recounting the events in that forsaken cabin, she leaned back in her creaking chair, a contemplative expression on her face. Eldridge Hollow has always been a place veiled in mystique, she began, her voice low and filled with a wisdom that seemed to transcend time. Legends speak of a curse that befalls those who dare to stay overnight in certain parts of the woods. Your encounter aligns with the stories passed down through generations. As Dr. Hartman delved into the town's history, she unraveled a chilling narrative of tragedy and malevolence. Decades ago, a family had sought refuge in a cabin much like the one I had encountered. However, their story took a sinister turn when they mysteriously vanished without a trace. Whispers of a malevolent force lurking in the woods spread among the locals. It was said that the spirits of the lost family, consumed by madness and despair, had become guardians of the cursed land. Those who dared to enter their domain faced a fate worse than death. Determined to uncover the truth, I joined Dr. Hartman on a journey into Eldridge Hollow's darkest secrets. We visited the town's archives, poring over ancient documents and faded photographs. The more we uncovered, the clearer it became that the cabin I had stumbled upon was a focal point of the supernatural affliction that plagued the region. In our quest for answers, we stumbled upon an old newspaper article dated several decades back. The headline sent shivers down my spine: "Mysterious disappearance in Eldridge Hollow, family vanishes without a trace." The accompanying article detailed the eerie circumstances surrounding the family's disappearance, leaving more questions than answers. The family's name, the Andersons, echoed through the town's forgotten whispers. They had sought refuge in the cabin during a storm, but their fate took a dark turn as the night unfolded. Witnesses claimed to have heard agonized screams emanating from the woods, but by the time help arrived, the Andersons were gone, leaving only the desolate cabin behind. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and a desire to break the curse that clung to me, I convinced Dr. Hartman to venture into the woods once more. Armed with the knowledge of the Anderson family's tragic fate, we hoped to find a way to lift the curse that bound them to the cabin. As we approached the location where the cabin had once stood, a heavy silence enveloped the air. Dr. Hartman carried an old book, its pages filled with incantations and rituals believed to appease vengeful spirits. The forest seemed to close in around us, as if aware of our intrusion. We reached the clearing where the cabin should have been, only to find it standing tall and menacing once again. The sight sent shivers down my spine, but we pressed on. Dr. Hartman began reciting the incantations, her voice resonating with an ancient power that seemed to awaken the dormant spirits. The air grew thick with tension as the incantations reached a crescendo. Suddenly the atmosphere shifted, and the shadows that clung to the cabin seemed to writhe in discomfort. The faces in the painting contorted, their malevolent gazes fading into expressions of release and peace. In that moment the whispers ceased, replaced by a solemn quietude. Dr. Hartman's words echoed through the woods, a final plea for forgiveness and liberation. The oppressive weight that had gripped my soul lifted, leaving behind a sense of profound relief. As the last syllable of the incantation hung in the air, the cabin began to fade, just like it had on that morning after my harrowing night. It dissolved into the misty tendrils of the forest, leaving no trace of its existence. The curse that had bound the spirits of the Anderson family was finally broken. Dr. Hartman and I emerged from the woods, exhausted yet triumphant. The town of Eldridge Hollow felt different, as if a long-standing darkness had been lifted. The townsfolk, oblivious to the supernatural forces that had held sway, went about their lives, unaware of the horrors that had lurked in the heart of the forest. I left Eldridge Hollow with a profound gratitude for the courage of those who had faced the unknown, seeking solace in the forgotten corners of the world. The experience, though harrowing, had forged an unbreakable bond between myself and the resilient spirit of Dr. Hartman. As I reflect on that spine-chilling tale, I can't help but marvel at the thin veil that separates the mundane from the supernatural. Eldridge Hollow, with its hidden histories and haunted woods, serves as a stark reminder that sometimes the most terrifying encounters lie in the shadows of our own curiosity, waiting to be unveiled by the brave souls who dare to explore the unknown.